Welcome to Excel Class Up. I remain Mr. Adekunle Samuel, aka Crusher. Now I'll be taking you indices in mathematics. First and foremost, before we go to law of indices, let me quickly explain what I call indices to you guys. Today, look at something like this. If you have something like this, it's different from something like this. If I want to pronounce this, I'll say this y raised to power of what? X. Y raised to power of what? X. But if I want to pronounce it, this is x over y. This x over y here is in form of what? Fraction. This one here is in form of what? Fraction. Is in form of fraction. And in fraction, anything up is called numerator. While anything down is called denominator, which is in form of what? Fraction. X over y. But I said this is y raised to power of what? X. So this y raised to power of x is in form of we call indices. Whenever you have anything like this, it's called indices. So in indices, you see this one we call denominator here. In indices, this y here, we call it the base. It is called the base. Why this x you have on top, you can see we call it y raised to power x. So this x is your what? Is your what? Your power. We call it what? Power. If I don't want to use the word power, I can also use the word called index. You can also use the word called what? Index. If I don't want to use power, if I don't want to use index, I can also call it exponent. What I call it? Exponent. Still the same thing. Is that how you call it? Power, index, or exponent? Is exponent. Exponent, power, index, or exponent. So students, in a nutshell, if you have these two, so if I want to pronounce it, I call it 2 raised to power of what? X. So anything like this is the form of what? Of indices. Laws of indices. From your law of indices, take note. First law there knows that, just take note that anywhere you see plus, it will change to what? Multiplication. Anywhere you see multiplication, it will change back to what? Addition. Or anywhere you see divide, it will change to what? Subtraction. Anywhere you see divide, change to what? Subtraction. So take a look at this, student. Law 1. If I should have something like this, P raised to the power of what? X. And I have times P raised to the power of what? Y. P raised to the power of x times P raised to the power of what? Y. You can see that this P and P here, we call them what? The base. Why this x and y, we call them the what? The power. If you look at the base now, they are the same. The base are the same. Whenever you're solving a question and the base are the same, you pick only one, which is what? P. And remember, this sign here is called what? Multiplication. So when I say multiplication, change back to what? Addition. So which is going to affect the word? The power. I cannot have x plus y, which is what? The first law. That is law 1. Law 2 says, if I have p raised to the power of x divided by p raised to the power of y again, the base are still the same. P and p, they are still the same. You go ahead, you pick only one base, which is p. And remember that you divide, we change back to what? Minus, which will be what? X minus y, which is law 2. You can see that divide change back to what? Minus. Multiplication change back to what? Addition. Law 3. Law 3, anything raised by 0 gives us what? 1. Anything raised by 0 is what? 1. Anything raised by 0 is what? 1. Even if we should write something like this, let me use the word. If I should use something like this, Tinubu, let me use Tinubu for instance. Tinubu, which is the president, raised to power is 0. It will still give you what? 1. So that means anything raised to power 0 is what? 1, which is law of what? Law 3. Law 4, if you have something like this, P raised to power x, and you have y outside. P raised to power x, you can see that this P is my base. And this x is what? Your power. But outside the bracket, you still have another power outside. If you want to solve question like that, you just open the bracket, P, you use X to multiply what? Y. Just multiply the two powers. So everything will be what? P. X times Y will be what? XY, which is law 4. Are you with me now? Next law again. If I should have P raised to power minus X, P raised to power what? Minus X. This P is what? The base. Minus X here is what? The power. If I want to remove this minus, this negative sign will be what? 1 over P raised power what? X. Which is going to give me what? That should be my final answer be what? 1 over P raised power what? That is law 4. Hello? I'll be back in the next 10 minutes. So let's take the last law. We still have a law, and we have something like this: P raised to power X over Y. This P here still remain the what? The base. What the power there is X over what? Y. So you can have something like this. You put this P, which is a base, in a root sign. And with me, you can see that this X here is the what? The numerator. Why this Y is the what? The denominator. I'll place the denominator here, which is Y. You close the bracket and you put your X what? Outside. So this is law what? Law 6. So let's take these laws of indices and let's use them to solve some question. Let's take, for example, just like we have 10 raised power 2 times 10 raised power what? 3. For example, this question here is applicable to what? Law 1. You can see this one is multiplication. PP, we pick one base. So when I have 10, 10, they have the same base. So I can pick 1, 10. So that means times change back to what? Plus. So that should be 2 plus 3, which means my total answer will be 2 plus 3 is what? 5, which is your what? Your answer. Student, we can remember that we are familiar with that. What is square root of 4? We know that square root of 4 is what? 2. Why is square root of 4 is 2? You see this square root of 4? This is your 4. You see this root sign? I can bring it out back to 1 over 2. That root sign can go back to what? 1 over 2. So this 4 raised power 1 over 2, if you look at it, is applicable to this law what? 6. This P is taking position of what? 4. This X is taking position of what? 1. Why this Y is taking position of what? 2. So what I ask you to do, you draw a root sign. You can see that this P, which is your 4, will be here. Denominator, which is here will not be 2. You close, it will be here 1. So you look for only one number, just one number, that if that number multiply himself 2 times, it will give you 4. What is that number? 2. 2 is the only number that will multiply itself 2 times, that will give you what? 4. So all these things here will change to 2. I have 1. So 2 raised by 1 is what? 2. So that is why square root of 4 is what? 2. And now if you have 8 raised to 2 over what? 3. So that should be what? You put a root sign. What will be in this root? 8. And what will be here? 3. You close. And what will be outside? 2. We go again. We look for just a number that if that number multiply himself 3 times, that will give you 8. What is that number? 2. Because 2 times 2 is what? 4. And 4 times 2 is what? 8. A number that will multiply himself 3 times, that will give you 8 is what? 2. So all these things here change to that 2. I see I have 2 up here, which is 2 raised power 2. And 2 raised power 2 means 2 times 2. And 2 times 2 is what? 4. So that is it. So let's quickly go back to our from your JAMB past question. Year what?
Year 1978.
Year 1978. Question
38.
Question 38. Thank you. Please give me the question.
It says if 25
If 25
raised to the power of x minus 1
x minus 1
is equal to 64 in brackets 5 over 2
5 over 2
raised to the power 6
raised power 6 Then
X has the value.
Then
X has what value?
X at
What value?
has what value? Thank you. Option A,
7.
7. B,
4.
C,
32.
D,
64. E, 5.
E, 5. So let's take a look at this question, student. 25 raised power x minus 1 equals to 64 into bracket 5 over 2 raised power 6. If I want to solve this question, this 25 x minus 1 equals to 64. I can expand this thing back to times 5 over 2, everything raised to power what? 6. I can expand it. You know, there's this 25 here is the word of base. So that should be what? 25 x minus 1. This is 64 times from your law of indices. 5 will take its own 6. If I want to open this bracket, this should be what? 5 raised to power 6 over 2 will take its own 6 also. So from here, I can now have 25 raised to power what? X minus 1 equals to 64 times this 5 raised to power 6. Still leave it that way. Over this 2 raised to power 6 means 2 in 6 places. If you multiply 2 in 6 places, that means 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2, 8. 8 times 2, 16. 16 times 2 is what? 32. And 32 times 2 is 64. But you leave that 5 raised to power what? 6. So from here, this 64 can equate this one out. So I'm left with what? 25 raised to power x minus 1 equals to 5 raised to power what? 6. So you can see that I don't have 64 there again. So from here, this 25 here, it can give me 5 squared because 5 times 5 is 25. So that should be what? 5 squared. So this one will change back to 5 raised to power 2. And you still have x minus 1. And you have equals to 5 raised to power 6. So whenever you have something like this 5 can cancel this 5 out because this equals sign equate to each other. From here, you open the what? The bracket. 2 times x is what? 2x minus 2 times 1 is 2. Everything equals to what? 6. Next thing is you collect like terms. Like terms, that should be what? 2x equals to 6. This 2 here is minus. Coming outside should be what? Plus 2. So 2x will be what? 6 plus 2 is what? 8. So you divide both sides by 2. 2 cancel 2. 8 divided by 2 is what? 4. Which is the word answer. So which of the option there is correct? B. So the question there is B. The correct what? Answer to the question there, year 1978, question 38. From here, we pick more questions. Again, believe you understand the way I solve this, which is well cleared. Now, please, year 1979, question 19.
It says simplify.
Simplify
5 raised to power x
5 raised to power x times
25 raised to power x minus 1.
25 raised to power x minus 1.
Everything over 125
125
raised to power x plus 1.
up 1a
5 raised to power 2x minus 1.
b
5 raised to power x plus 2.
c
5 raised to power minus 5.
d
5 raised to power x plus 1. E 5 raised to power 3.
This is the next question now, student. The question says simplify 5 raised to power x times 25 raised to power x minus 1 all over 125 raised to power x plus 1. First and foremost, you reduce this one back to what? 5 raised to power 2. Let every one of them be in the same what? Base. Because the lowest base there is what? Is 5. So solution to 5 raised to power x times 25 raised to power x minus 1 over 125 raised to power x plus 1. To solve this question, I can have this 5 raised to power x times, you can see that this 25 here can give me 5 raised to power 2 into bracket x minus 1. Everything all over This 125 can go ahead and give me 5 raised by 3, because if you multiply 5 in 3 places, 5 in 3 places gives you what? 125. So that means 5 raised to power what? 3. And I still have in bracket 5 raised by x times 5. 2 times x, you open the bracket, that should be what? 2x minus 2. Still everything over 5. Apply the same thing here, that should be what? 3x plus 3. Everything now remain in the same base, which is 5, 5, and what? 5. So I can pick one of these based on the first law of indices, which is 5 raised by x. Remember, this times change to what? Plus 2x minus 2. Still the same thing with base 5. Pick one base. Now this is divide. Divide change to what? Minus. That should be minus 3x plus what? 3. So finally, 5 should be what? X plus 2x will be what? 3x minus 2. If I should open the bracket, that should be what? Minus 3x. Minus times plus should be what? Minus 3. So this 3x can cancel this 3x. So I cannot be left with 5 raised by what? Minus 2 minus 3. So definitely my final answer should be what? Minus 2 minus 3 is what? Minus 5, which is the correct what? Answer. So which of the option there is still what? C. I don't know what the reason why JAMB love to put their correct answer in what? Option what? C. So that is shortcut again. If you're trying to solve a question, if you're unable to solve, quickly pick what? C. Now let's go more question again there. Here what? Here what? Next question.
1979.
1979 again.
Question 32.
1979 question 32 again. Same here. Okay, continue.
Find the value of.
Find the value. Find the value of.
In brackets.
4
whole number 1 over 4.
4 whole number 1 over 4.
Sorry. 4 raised to power 1 over 4. Close brackets. Raised to power 6.
Okay, 6 outside.
Outside, yes.
Thank you. This should be 1 over 4. Okay, this is 6. Option A.
1.
1. B.
2.
2. C.
4.
D.
6.
Is there E?
Yes, 8.
This one is very simple, student. The question says 4 raised by 1 over 4, and in outside you have what? 6. I gave you the law. I said whenever you have something like this, you open the word, the bracket. Use the 2 powers to multiply each other. That should be 1 over 4 times what? 6. Very simple. 2 here, 3, 2 here, 2. So it has given you what? 4 raised power 3 over 2, which is applicable to the law 6. And your law 6, I told you that you should put a root sign. You put your 4 here. Abi? The denominator, which is 2, will be here. You close, 1 will be here. 3. Now look for a particular number. That number that will multiply himself 2 times, that will give you 4. What's that number? 2. Because if 2 multiply himself 2 times, I will give you 4. What's that number? 2. So all these things here change to what? 2. I have 3 here. So 2 raised by 3 means 2 times 2 times 2. So 2 times 2 is what? 4. And 4 times 2 is what? 8, which is the correct answer, which is option E. 8 is the correct what? Answer. 1994 question 9, please.
So solve for x.
Solve for x. If
25 raised by x
25 raised by x
plus 3
into
bracket 5 raised by x is equal to 4.
Equals to 4. This one is exponential. Option A.
Option A, 1 or minus 4.
1 or minus 4. B.
0. C, 1.
B is only 0.
Yes.
C.
1. D, minus 4 or 0.
Minus 4 or 0. Is that the option?
Yes.
Now, student, if you look at this question now, this is 25 raised by x plus 3, 5 raised by x, everything equals to 4. This is the question. You can see that this is 25. Change it back to indices. It can give me 5 raised power 2. Everything what? X. Or just do it like this. 5 raised power 2. And you see how x outside of it? Plus 3. 5 raised power x equals to what? Everything equals to 4. At the same time, I can see how 5, 2 times x will give me what? 2x plus 3. 5 raised power x, everything equals to what? 4. This is 5 raised power 2x. I can change it back to 5 raised power x, everything square, plus 3. 5 raised power x, everything equals to what? 4. Which is still the same thing. No, I can move further to solve my question completely. You can see that 5 raised power s, 5 raised power x is common to both sides. Let 5 raised power x represent what? P. Let me use P. So this one will now turn to what? P squared plus 3. You know, this one will now turn to what? P. Everything equals to 4. It has turned to what? Quadratic what? Equation. This 4 is plus. Bring inside is what? Minus. P squared plus 3P minus 4. Everything equals to what? 4P. So 4 here is plus. Coming outside to be what? Minus. That means P is equals to what? Minus 4. Or minus 1 here coming outside should be what? P is equals to what? 1. So my final answer should be what? Minus 4 or 1. Which is the final what? Answer minus 4 and 1. Which of the option there? Option A. Should in case you see any question like this on the day of your exam, please, you should be able to solve. So I'm going to stop here for indices. So let's now take logarithm. We take logarithm.
2003.
Yeah.
2003.
2003. Question. Please give me.
It says
If
9 raised to power 2x minus 1
2x minus 1
over 27 raised to power x plus 1
over 27 raised power x plus 1
is equal to 1.
Find
the value of x.
Find the value of what?
X.
Option A,
3.
B,
8.
C,
2.
D.
5.
Now, if I want to solve this question, remember this question is still the same thing like 2x minus 1. Don't do that mistake. You see this divide sign, I can still bring back to something like this divide to make it easier for you. I say x plus 1, everything equals to 1. You can see the way I return this 27, x plus 1. It's still the same thing. But from here, 9 can give me 3 raised power 2. If you return it back to indices, I have 2x minus 1 divided by 27 will still give you what? 3 raised power 3, because 3 in 3 places give you what? 27. I still have x plus 1. Everything equals to what? 1. From here now, let's open the bracket. That should be 3. 2 times 2x will be what? 4x. 2 times minus 1 will be what? Minus 2. I have your divide sign. This one will be 3. 3 times x will be what? 3x. 3 times 1 will be what? 3. Everything equals to what? 1. In indices, your second law of indices, 3, 3, you pick one base, which is going to be what? 3. Divide change to what? Minus. 4x minus 2. I have what? Minus. Put this in the bracket. 3x plus 3. Everything equals to what? 1. So we can have 3. That should be 4x minus 2. That should be minus 3x. Minus times plus is what? Minus 3. You see this one, anything raised power 0 is what? It's still 1. So I can change this one back to 3 raised power 0 based on this what? The base. So this 3 cancel this 3. So I'm left with 4x minus 2 minus 3x minus 3 equals to what? 0. So 4x minus 3x give me what? X. Minus 2 minus 3 is what? Minus 5. Equals to what? 0. So finally, x will be what? Is 0 plus 5. So my final answer for x is what? 5, which is the correct what? Answer. So which of the option there is option D? So I'm going to stop here for today till next